Welcome back, fellow adventurers, to the newest Pacesetter Games Kickstarter. This is our brand new series of Choose Your Own Path or Pick a Path storybooks, Adventures from Farador Keep. Normally we do the highly produced, edited, epic music Kickstarter promo video, but this time we actually just wanted to sit down. My name is Ben.
I'm Bill.
And this is the father-son duo of Pacesetter Games and Simulations. I brought my father to talk on this video because he's actually the reason we're here, on how he introduced us to the great game of Dungeons & Dragons and other fantasy tabletop role-playing games.
Right, which is going to tie into what we're talking about here. So I have 3 kids, Ben and his 2 sisters, Allison and Anna, and they started by playing Fantasy Forest back in the day and reading the classic TSR Pick a Path, Choose Your Own Adventure books.
Yep.
Before we ever rolled any dice, and when they were young, these are the things they would read and kind of get them excited about playing the game of Dungeons & Dragons.
And so it was a perfect way without, just dumping a big set of rules on a young child to remember or to worry about. You're just worrying about the adventure. You're just worrying about the fantasy in the beginning. So that is the goal of these books. These books are meant to be either a trip down memory lane for a nostalgic person like us who grew up with them, or to pass on to the next generation of gamers and to create a pipeline for them to enjoy the game. So there are 3 options here for the Kickstarter, or you can get all 3 of our first Pick a Path adventure books now on Kickstarter. There is the first book, The Legend of the Green Flame, harkening back to my dad's first solo adventure he wrote for Pacesetter Games.
Yeah.
The next one is Kizzywink's Mad Lab, an adventure through a crazy, wacky, abandoned wizard's laboratory.
It's wild.
It's wild. And then the Call to Adventure, which is your classic, there's a keep on the top of the hill and you need to go investigate it and remove all of the unholy creatures who may be processing inside. So that is the Kickstarter we are offering right now. You can either get 1 book or all 3 books together, or a collector's copy with all of the books merged inside in this beautiful, large, hardbound copy. Thank you all very much for your support on the campaign. Keep those rolls and spirits high. We'll see you next time.
And there it is, our friends from Pacesetter Games. Their Kickstarter is live, and please join me and Phil and some of the other folks on this in backing it. But in the interim, Philberto, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, folks. Hola, welcome back to another fantabulous edition of Friday Night Live here. I just took a quick shower and I was digging into my t-shirts and I found my vintage Bruce Campbell tee from when I was in high school, and it used to have an autograph right here by Mr. Bruce Campbell himself, and I wore it so much that the magic marker wore off, but I had to put it on for old time's sake because who doesn't love Evil Dead, right? Anyway, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us yet again for a fantastic edition of Friday Night Live. We have an exciting show for you, and it's been a busy day here on behind the scenes here at the show, where we are now in event selection season here, as basically every week a new level of our badge holders are able to choose their events. And so there's been a lot of submissions, last minute submissions that have been added to the catalog. And folks at 6 p.m. this evening that had gold badges or are supporting patrons that have been lagging behind as of last week got a chance to go in there and grab their events. And so there was a flurry of activity a few short hours ago, and it's going to continue like that in the next couple of weeks. But it's going to be fantastic. As always, I'm here. We've got a full crew this evening here. We would have had even more. I think Chet was going to join us as well, but he had a prior commitment. But I'm here with Meg, Ed, Jen, and Ron, and everyone on my screen anyway is looking very beautiful indeed. Is everyone feeling beautiful?
Yes. Yeah, pretty good.
All right, that's 2.
No.
All right, that's
Ed, you're beautiful.
I'm concerned with where this discussion is going. Phil, have you been drinking? Have you been drinking tonight?
No, I haven't been. Actually, my ceiling fan's not working. I got to click on the thing. No, I haven't been at all. No, I'm just fine.
I assumed you were just looking up at Ron because his box is above you and to the right.
Right. No, my ceiling fan. I had to turn on the switch because
Yeah, that was kind of a Brady Bunch moment.
Yeah. Goodness. Oh man. A lot of people have already jumped in on chat this evening. We got a lot of people there. Yes, Jen, Boomstick. That's right. Yes, in chat. Who can't forget that great line from Army of Darkness? But we have got an interesting show this evening. We've got two guests. Right? We've got a scholarly guest, and we have a painterly guest. I just wanted to use the word painterly because I don't think it's used enough in conversation.
I don't think that's a real word.
That is a real word. Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
Someone look it up. And
I'm checking right now.
painterly is definitely a word.
Oh, it is. He's right. Phil is right. One for Phil.
Okay, one for me.
Well, all right. But I'm just glad to finally have a true professional working archaeologist on the program.
Former. Yeah. Yes, a lot of times, sometimes people ask if this back here, my wall, is a college degree. This is not. This is my grandmother's high school diploma.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. That's my grandmother's high school diploma because she was the first person in her family to graduate from high school back in 1929.
Oh, look, we've got Troll Lord Games Chuck with us. Chuck, are you?
Yeah.
Are you tuning in from the hospital, my friend, where you were convalescing? We have to find out there.
You got to give him a chance to type out a response on his phone. Tap.
Have you ever seen a monkey bang on a piano?
I had heard that earlier today. Ron and I were talking on the phone that Chuck Cumbo of Troll Lord Games fame was not feeling his best, and he was in the hospital. But it looks like he is in chat this evening. So, we wish him well if he is actually in the hospital still and on the road to recovery. But
I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
He says he is. He says. Okay.
All right. Well, we don't need any live shots. We're not going to put you on video.
Yeah.
Especially if you're walking away from the camera in a gown. Yes, we don't.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see that.
But we do want you to feel better.
Yes, we do want you to feel better. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I missed you out at Gen Con, Chuck. I was like, "Where's Chuck?" And he could make it this year, but here you are, and so we're happy to have you.
All right. Well, let's get to the guests. I see the guests are getting a little rowdy in the back there.
Fist fighting each other.
Well, I think there was a disagreement over the pecan sandies that we purchased from the Girl Scouts that we put back there. So I think we should bring on a truly a professional archaeologist as opposed to like a fake archaeologist.
You say pecan. Who says? I say pecan.
It's pecan.
I say pecan.
Okay.
Pecan. Yeah.
Okay. Well, 3 of you are wrong. So let's see what an educated archaeologist calls it. How about that?
Okay.
How's that sound?
All right.
All right. Hey, everybody.
Mr. Jeffrey Shanks, how are you?
I am doing well this evening. Just had a little bit of pecan pie, and I'm Now, I say that I'm in the South, so everyone down here, though, says pecan, which is weird because you're in Philly. Like, I don't get this. I always thought that was a Southern thing.
But Ron lives in Southern New Jersey, where it might as well be Alabama. I
thought that was rural Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Alabama of the North. That's what everyone says.
No.
And I'm New Hampshire, so go figure.
We call that
Phil's,
pencil
where
tucking
Phil's
roll.
from, it's called Pennsyltucky.
There you go. Right.
Well,
Exactly. Well, thanks for having me, everyone. Great to be here. Looking forward to having some fun tonight.
Yeah, we are so glad that you can be part of not only tonight's program, but Page in general. You know, when we set out on an idea of doing some Conan centric things at Page, we we immediately reached out to Matt John because I love the game. And our group plays it, and of course familiar with earlier iterations of Conan RPGs. And the first person he said we needed to bring in if we wanted to expand our reach was you.
Well, that's cool. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's my dog brother.
Yeah. So Jeff, when someone is a Robert E. Howard scholar, such as yourself, right? But you're also, how do you describe what you do within this space? Because it's not just Robert E. Howard; it's pulp in general and other things. So, talk to us a little bit about that.
Sure, God. So in this space, it's kind of weird. I kind of accidentally became, one of the I guess one of the world's leading experts on Robert E. Howard among, another, probably 8 or 10 other folks that do this kind of thing. And, it really just started, I was a fan, as a kid growing up, reading all the stories, the Conan stories and Solomon Kane and Call and all those things, and adjacent fiction too, like, Lovecraft and Edgar Rice Burroughs and all those other, great writers that started in the pulp magazines back in, century ago now, right? When the internet kind of became a thing, I was just started, found some fan groups, and I was like, oh, there's a bunch of people that like this stuff, and was just posting. And a lot of what I started talking about was how pulp writers like Howard and Lovecraft and these guys were using archaeology and anthropology in their fiction, often very dated, pseudo archaeology, fantastic archaeology, that kind of stuff, right? That, Cyclopean ruins and, Atlantis and Lemuria and those kinds of things, right? So what I started doing was just talking about, oh, well, this is where they're getting those ideas from and this and blah, 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 blah. So I was kind of using my own background as an archaeologist, and next thing I know, I'm, people are inviting me on blogs and I'm writing essays and, both fan stuff. And then all of a sudden I'm doing peer-reviewed articles on like Conan the Barbarian, because apparently you can do that now. And for a while, I was the area chair for pulp studies at the Popular Culture Association, and doing both. I had one foot in the kind of the academic side of things and one in the fan side of things. And after a while, I started getting doing some work with the company that owns all of the Robert E. Howard IPs, all of the characters, Conan and Solomon Kane and Call. Today, the Heroic Signatures is the name of that company today. Mm-hmm. So I started doing some consulting work for them, and they would have me, hey, we're trying to do this streaming series, read the script and stuff like that. And through that, I ended up getting asked to be the consultant for the previous iteration of a Conan role-playing game that was put out by Modifius, I guess about 10 years ago or so. And British company, they came in, and the guys that were kind of behind it, they were familiar with Burroughs and stuff like that, and they were familiar with Lovecraft. They didn't really know Howard and Conan all that well, and so they brought me in to kind of advise them. And it was funny, like one of the first things they did was like, do you know any Conan artists? I was like, well, I mean, kind of, yeah, actually, yeah, I know a few. Let me see if I, whatever. So next thing I know, I was kind of helping to art direct all of the covers for it. And it was amazing. They had beautiful artwork on the hardcover books, for that game. And that was me. I was getting to, work with legendary artists that, I'd, grown up reading, looking at their work and Savage Sword of Conan when I was a kid and stuff like that, and other legends like Gerald Brom and oh God, Ken Kelly, did some work for us, and some of the just legends, right? So that's kind of how I got involved in it. And then a large part of what I had to do was sort of explain to a lot of folks how, that were kind of behind it, how do we capture the essence of those, those early pulp stories, right? That Howard and these guys were writing, but make it work for a modern audience, and do it in a way that, sort of captures the fast pace, kind of primal, brutal world of Conan, as Howard wrote it. And one of the things I tried to really convince them right off the bat is stick to Robert E. Howard's Conan for this game, rather than, the myriad of pastiche works that were done over the years in the 70s, 80s, 90s. Tor cranked out, several dozen, fair to middling Conan pastiche novels, in the 80s and 90s. And previous games, like the Mongoose version and stuff like that, had incorporated a lot of that pastiche material. And so I somehow convinced them, like, hey, let's do this. Let's, even as a marketing thing, right? Let's do something different. Let's just do pure Robert E. Howard's Conan. And part of that, it was right after the success of the Monolith Conan board game, which that just blew away everything on Kickstarter. And one of the things they had done with that game is to make it just pure Robert E. Howard's Conan. And they had their own advisor, good friend of mine, dear friend, Patrice Louinet, who is kind of Europe's big Conan scholar. He's so I basically made that argument. Look what Monolith just did. They broke all the records, right, on Kickstarter, because they made it Robert E. Howard's Conan, and so I actually convinced them to even work that into the name. Let's call the game, let's call it Robert E. Howard's Conan. Robert E. Howard's Conan: Adventures in an Age Undreamed of, right? And so that's kind of how I got involved in this. I've been a gamer all my life. Since I was, I got the box basic set when I was 9 years old in 1981, and I've been playing RPGs all this time. This was my first opportunity to now get involved and help shape, an actual game. And it was pretty amazing. So that was a great experience, but that's how I kind of got involved with this.
So you were recently honored. Seems like it's a pretty high honor by the.
Oh yeah.
Why don't you tell us about this?
Yeah, I got a couple of those up there. That's the Robert E. Howard Foundation Award for Best Essay. I've won it. I've won a few of these over the years, probably 7 or 8 of them over the years. But the last two, I've gotten the award for Best Essay, both 2025 and 2026, for a series of essays that I write for the back of the new Conan comic book from Titan Comics.
Mm-hmm.
So in the back of every issue, I do a nonfiction essay talking about sort of the context, if you like this stuff in the comic, you might like these original stories, and here's where this came from, and here's the cultural influence on, Howard when he was writing this stuff. So I try to do, it's kind of scholarly, right, but written still for a popular audience to make it kind of fun. But again, kind of the dream. I'm writing, I'm in the back matter, which, probably 1 out of 10 people actually read, but still, it's kind of cool, right? It's like Stan Lee's soapbox back in the day, for those of you who might remember that. Hyborian version. It's kind of fun.
So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to shoot back over to you, as we so often do when we have 2 guests. So I want you to get ready to talk about some of the cool stuff you're going to be doing at Page.
All right. Sounds fun.
And talk a little bit about and start thinking about a little bit about the convention within the convention there.
Bonanza.
Yes.
Now we're talking.
Yes. All right. Does that, Ed, you were about to ask a question, and if we have any questions for Jeffrey before we jump over to Stan, let's get some questions out there now. But Jeff's going to remain on with us, and we'll be fielding more questions, and we'll be going back and forth.
Sure, great. Yeah, I have a question for him. I have a friend who's kind of like a preeminent Tolkien scholar, and one of the most fascinating things I get to talk to him about is like all the various unpublished letters and notes and things like that he's gotten to look at. And of course, the Tolkien estate has published a bunch of that. I was just wondering, how much of that sort of resource have you been able to dig into with Robert E. Howard? I mean, that seems like it would be very fascinating.
Oh, quite a bit. So I'm on the board of the Robert E. Howard Foundation, and we've over the years have been putting out a number of Howard's works and some of his lesser known works, right? Del Rey, publishes all of the major characters and stuff. With the foundation, we publish some of his other things, the boxing stories and the Westerns and those sorts of things. But one of the major works that we've done over the years is published a 3-volume set of his collected letters. And it's fascinating to dive into the letters, where you really get to get in his head, get into his mind a little bit. And there's surprising things about him. His humor, he's a really funny guy, but he's got a real sarcastic, kind of dry wit. But he's a really funny guy. That's not what people usually picture with Howard. Actually, here's one of the volumes right here. I was actually working on something a little earlier. I've got one of the letters volumes handy right here. One of the really fascinating things with Howard's letters is his correspondence with other Weird Tales writers. He was writing letters to Clark Ashton Smith and August Derleth and all of these. But of course, probably his most famous correspondence is with Lovecraft. Howard and Lovecraft wrote for voluminous correspondence between the two of them for several years about all kinds of subjects. And, it's fascinating to go into that and kind of be a fly on the wall in their conversations. And what you'll see is them arguing about things and, bouncing around ideas. And then you'll see some of those same conversations that they're having in their letters show up in their stories, right? They were influencing each other. Actually, this is just their correspondence alone is 2 volumes that have been published a few years ago. Yeah. That's all just Howard and Lovecraft writing each other back and forth over a period of several years.
That's like Phil's correspondence with the design team for Spellfire.
Right.
He's got a large notebook full of it because it was his favorite game. And,
it's
one
yeah.
of.
It's
Yeah.
fun. It's funny you mentioned Tolkien. There's a Tolkien letter. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. There's a Tolkien letter where he may talk about Robert E. Howard, but I haven't been able to decipher it because Tolkien's handwriting is so terrible. You can't read anything.
If you want, I can ask my friend about it. I bet he's seen it.
Yeah, it was a L. Sprague de Camp sent Tolkien in the 60s, sent him a paperback anthology of sword and sorcery fiction. And Tolkien wrote him back a whole letter talking about what he thought about all the stories. And there was a Howard Conan story in there, and C.L. Moore, and a number of others. And I have a high-res scan of that letter. It sold at an auction a number of years ago. But yeah, I have actually reached out to a couple of Tolkien scholars, and they can get a little bit of it. Apparently he's notorious for just having terrible handwriting. Who would have thought?
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our friend Stan on the program as well. And Jeff, stay with us and feel free to jump in, because you're going to see something Stan did last year at Page for the Page mini campaign. And I
Cool.
suspect something like this is going to happen with some of the Conan events
Oh, sweet.
this year. So, all right, let's see. In the interim, when we're waiting for Stan, while we're going to go grab Stan, Neil is going to explain to us how excited he is for Page. right, and we are back, and up there's Stan. Stan loves to see Neil. Neil
do.
dance. He's very excited about that. Yes. Stan, welcome to the program.
Thank you,
A
thank
wonderful friend of Paige, and you have a big reveal for us tonight. Do you not?
So back, as you mentioned, back in January at the show, Ed was in charge of an ongoing campaign of adventures that ran throughout the show called the Song of Shadows. He and I got this idea. Well, one of the things that happens when I sit at a table, I'm constantly doodling, and I'm also not usually focused in the game. I'm in what's funny on what's happening. So I'm constantly making little cartoons of what's going on. Anyone that's gamed with me knows what that's like. And, showing that to other people, they say, oh, I wish we could have someone like that at our table. So Ed had the big idea. Well, why don't we make that a thing? We'll play it up. So at the show, I sat in on a bunch of the sessions of the Song of Shadows games, and I did doodles based on not just the adventures, but what the players did at the table. And we've collected those into a PDF, which I have here, and which we're going to be posting lots of places. Anywhere you'd like to post for the page, folks, that's fine. I'm certainly going to post it to my social media and such.
And we got to send it directly to those players too.
We do. I think I may have sent it to the people I have. I should check. If you're one of those people and you haven't gotten one, reach out. But Ed, as long as you can help me pull those back together, I will send it out to everyone that was involved.
Were you at the second session? I can't remember. It was like Saturday?
I was at one of your sessions, Jen. Yes.
Okay, so I'd like one.
We call
Let's see it.
All right. I'm gonna share my screen. All right, there we go. So this is basically just the PDF I put together. So we've got a nice little cover promoting Paige and where it all happened. The fact that Ed was the designer of the adventures as well as organizing the whole thing. So these are the characters. We worked. Everyone used the same pre-generated characters. Got a little intro essay, and so these were the characters that we got to play, and that made it easier for me. I knew what characters I was going to have to doodle, although how they acted and what they did would change. I had a starting point for everyone, which is often the toughest part early in any campaign, is figuring out how am I going to draw this character. So I don't know how legible these are on screen.
They look fine.
Right. They look good. Yeah.
Yes. Because I hate going to slideshows or presentations where someone puts something up on the screen and then reads it aloud.
Okay. Well, we see that it's a little that basically you're taking us through what happened.
Yeah.
I see Mike DiBenedetto there DMing.
Yes. Sometimes I get
he did a great job, and he wore his costume for at least one of the days. But he and Rory teamed up with me actually to run the final. But keep going, Stan.
But as you can see, these are all quick doodles, right? These are not the finished style cartoons you see on most of the things I publish, but they still have that. I don't know. If you're a fan of cartoons and cartoonists, I think they've got almost like a Jules Pfeiffer feeling to them, just really fast and loose. And all of these are at least based on, if not direct quotes, pretty close to direct quotes to things that people said. So there, as you were saying, Mike at the bottom said, one of the players asked, "Can you do non-lethal damage with a rapier?" It's so hard to get the tone of voice. Mike kind of pauses and says, "Mechanically, yeah." Yes, and no. Then we had me having a hard time finding the tables. But these are the kinds of things you can see I usually get, I don't know, 4 to 6 pages done during a 4-hour session. It all depends.
Is that Phil there in that second block in the center? Is that Phil?
What, the beholder? Is that me that you're referring
I
to?
just see. I don't have my glasses on right now, but I see the. I see a bald guy in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah. Careful, my death ray.
Yeah.
Well, that's a gas spore, so that is Phil, because we know he has a lot of gas.
He's
Yeah.
very gassy.
Yeah.
I agree.
Full of it.
Don't poke Phil. You got another page here. Oops. Ed, you want to say anything about the campaign and what was going on?
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, basically, what Stan had to do was we ran 3 sort of part 1 adventures, and you could play in any of them. They were loosely tied together and led into the final event on Sunday, but you didn't have to play all of them. And so what he's got are a group of people who are going around and playing an adventure that has some sort of hook into Sunday. But what was really funny is when we had people come back and play multiple sessions. And like this was one of the first adventures I wrote here, where the players had to basically at the very beginning go through a graveyard into this crazy looking cave tomb thing. And yeah, everybody's like, oh, I think we know what type of adventure this is going to be. And so, yeah, there was a very stern matronly NPC who had to kick them off all the time into the adventure. And each DM played her kind of differently. And it was very funny to see how I came by and watched and see how the different DMs did it. And but like there are some things that seem to happen constantly. And there's one page coming up that I have to comment on. But yeah, this one was a lot of undead and a lot of trying to scare the players.
Yeah, because you and I
really great reactions.
You and I did this adventure at Gamehole Con.
Yeah, we did a playtest of it at Gamehole. Yeah, and you did the illustrated dungeon there too, and I mean you did unique, sketches for each one, of course, but it was funny to see some of the similar things that happened.
It was. There's some, as you said there, some of the things are. They took completely different tacks, and some of them were exactly the same.
Yeah, check. No, I don't have anything particular on this one. I don't want to just talk over every
all right.
Whatever. But
I want to leave them up so people can get a good look, but not so long that it gets boring on the screen. Yeah. So,
well, this was one of the very very funny things that occurred. I was not running this particular session, but I got to hear about it. Basically, the story for this adventure is there's a curse on this family that's been going on for generations, and every the firstborn male heir dies horribly on their 18th birthday. Mm-hmm. And so the latest matron of the thing has finally figured out, to some extent, how to possibly, investigate the curse. And so you're dragging along her son with this. And one of the groups came up with a really bizarre idea for how to break the curse. And you were actually there, Stan.
Mm-hmm.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but basically, it was like they had to like defeat the bad guy, but then it was like you got to marry your mom or something. Or no, who is it? Who are you?
The cleric.
You had to marry. You had to marry the
Basically,
cleric.
Yeah, no, the idea was that the cleric came up with, well, if you're my son, then they don't have any. You're no longer the heir, so I'll adopt you. And
That's right. Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so,
Marry the cleric.
so what is the plan with the book here? What's going to happen with this?
Well, it's a PDF. It's not it's relatively low in footprint, and so I'm just going to post it. I mean, I think that I don't know. Can you post PDFs for download in most social media?
We can post it as a file, correct?
Yeah. So put it up as a file. I'll probably put it on a downloader site for a while and send that link around. Yeah, and anywhere you'd like to. I mean, this is my part of my my work for the con, right? So
Sure.
you guys, anything you guys want to do with it, you are more than welcome to.
Okay, well, wonderful. So why don't we do this? Let's not give them the whole thing now.
Oh, okay.
Let's make them come. Let's make them want to come come and download. But this is brilliant. It's really really cool stuff, and I think a lot of folks running long-term games at the convention would like to see their work turned into a comic strip, for lack of a better phrase.
Yeah, no, and it's a lot of fun, and you can book me to do it for your event.
Yeah,
oh,
I was just going to say that Stan will sit in on people's home events, even, you can zoom him in or whatever, he'll do it. We were also talking about possibly doing the illustrated dungeon to raise money for charity, like at Page, we could raise it for the Gamers Assistance Program or something,
sure.
And otherwise. But yeah, I mean, Stan's a professional artist, so hire him to do these things.
All right. Who's got questions about the project?
I don't know if I have a question, but I just have a comment. I think that's such an awesome idea, especially because like when you have a really fun session with your friends, like you go and tell people the story, but with that you can say, look, this is what happened. This is what, we did together. I love that so much.
Stan, I might want to commission you to draw a picture of Wes Allen stealing a carton of eggs at a convention where some eggs were at the convention for an auction purpose for charity, but Wes stole the eggs and put them up in his office.
So I have so many questions that I really don't want to ask.
Yeah.
There's a couple of questions comments in the chat that I think are worth bringing up. Anthony says Stan needs to stop by Down the Dark Stairway, which for those of you who don't know is a continuous event that was being run last year. Ron, we're doing that again, right?
Continuous. Yes, Ed.
Is there anything you can announce about that?
Well, we've talked about it pretty extensively over the course of time, and you can see there's our banner for it, and it's an ongoing Shadow Dark game, as most people know. It runs all weekend in 1 hour little bursts. Play an hour, play as long as you like, or until your character ends up getting put on Walhalla if you happen to die, like so many characters last year. I think about 70 of them. So
can we announce the terrain sponsor? Is that already public, or
yeah, it's already public. We talked about WizKids is going to be there, and they're doing the terrain. So yeah, No, it's we're going to be taking some pictures soon and putting some stuff out.
That's awesome. I mentioned that because WizKids sponsored the mini campaign last year that we did that Stan did the illustrated dungeon for. So we're very familiar with that stuff. I'm hoping to.
I mean, there's some photos. I think I have in the back of that PDF. I have some photos from the thing, and those mini setups you had were awesome. The terrain setups were terrific.
No, they were
yeah.
great. All right. So we have a lot of people asking questions in the chat here. We've got Wes Allen still trying to claim he's innocent of egg theft. Everybody knows you just took the eggs there, Wes. They were on your desk.
That ship has sailed.
Yes. It's all done. In fact, here it is here. Wes stole another card.
So Stan, I'm wondering, how
Yes.
much do you charge for someone to sit and sketch at someone's game? Because I'd love to have you sketch for my event. Because it's
Yeah. So usually, I will charge the same way you might to have someone do caricatures at a party. Right now, this is not a very in-demand thing, so I've set the price at a modest $50 per hour, with maybe some setup if you want me to have the characters ready ahead of time. Maybe an additional $50 to do quick sketches of the characters to start with, and you guys will get copies of everything when it's all said and done.
okay. I might have you do that. I just need to look at my finances, but
You know what?
I think it would be great because it's a blindfold event and might be something interesting.
And I think we should put Jeff Shanks in that event.
Oh, I like this. A blindfold event. Tell me more about that. That sounds pretty cool.
Okay. So basically,
Here for
all the players are blind. Well,
Right.
they're wearing blindfolds, and your character sheets are on your wrist. So
it. Okay.
instead of looking at numbers and stuff, you're going to be feeling things.
Okay, cool.
So like, let me think. Wisdom. That's going to be like an Eye of Horus for like the perception stuff.
Okay. Cool.
Strength is going to be dumbbells. And then there's different things we're actually making the bracelets tomorrow. I'm so excited. There's going to be
love this idea. This is so cool.
Yeah. And we're going to be using Pixels dice. And they will speak to you.
Cool.
So it's through the phone, but they do speak and they light up. And if anyone wants to try Braille dice, I will have some, but that's not like you don't have to use them if you don't want to.
Jen,
Cool.
I'm holding up a Pixels die
Cool.
here,
Cool.
and I also have a set of Braille dice here.
Yep.
So, yes. So essentially, all the players are blind because the characters are going to be blind. So,
Cool.
so yeah, we're gonna. I think we're gonna put you in that.
Sign me up.
Okay.
I'm here for it. That sounds awesome. That sounds very cool.
So what questions do you have, Jeff? Do you have any questions for Stan or anything related to the show at all?
Yeah, well, maybe an artist question. I mean, who are some of your influences, right? I think someone did mention Jules Pfeiffer there a little bit, but other than that, because I'm a big fan of comic and cartoon art and the history behind it. So I'd love to know who some of your influences were.
I mean, a lot of influences. I was just talking about one earlier this week. So before I even knew it, one of my earliest and strongest influences was Sergio Aragonis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost
I
wore
was-
my Gru shirt tonight, but I didn't. Yeah.
But I was copying stuff that he had done for the Mad marginals,
Right.
and for a couple of other books my parents had around the house. And I didn't know enough to know it was the same artist, but I was really kind of drawn to his stuff, if you'll pardon the pun.
I used to love those, the marginalias. I
Yeah.
would follow, I mean, that was one of my favorite things about reading Mad back in the day. Those little
I
Good
just
work.
finished a project for Phil Reed. I don't know how many people here know Phil, but he does a lot of. He used to work for Steve Jackson Games for a very long
Mhm.
time, and now he does a lot of small press things.
Right.
And he asked me to do marginal drawings for a project that he has coming up.
Oh, that's
So,
fun.
I was very excited about that.
That's cool. Very cool.
But then other artists like the caricaturist Al Hirschfeld was a huge influence on my my art style, and then we get into some that you can't see, like Neil Adams. I was a huge Neil Adams fan. I don't draw a whit like him, but I tried to for a while, and I learned a lot
Right.
doing it. John Byrne
cool.
also, Gil Kane.
God, that's my era you're talking now.
Yeah. Oh, that's my era too.
Yep. I love it. Yeah, actually, my first introduction to Conan was actually not Buscema or Frazetta. It was Neil Adams Conan on the old Crawler in the Mist comic record back in the day when I was a kid. Yeah, so kind of a different way to come to it.
Neil Devlin says, that's cool. I'll be in a game with Jeff Shanks.
Yes, you will.
In fact, Neil's excited. Neil's excited about it.
You won't know because you won't see me. So,
Neil's excited about it.
Very cool. He is excited. Look at that.
Hey, Stan.
I'm excited too.
You just finished up a project with Bill Slavisek, another page guest.
I also I've done some stuff. Bill has written some and self-published some D&D compatible adventures, and I did the art for 3 of them. I don't know if that's all the ones he's done, but I've done 3 of them, and he just published a new one. I don't remember what the actual title was because I was working on it with its working title, and it's stuck in my head.
Well, if people go to Drive Through RPG and search for Bill or you or whatever, I'm sure they'll find it.
Yeah.
Neil's pretty hyped about everything as well.
I like a person that wears their excitement on their sleeve.
Yes, he's our biggest fan. Now, we're going to take a little intermission here. We'll be back in about 30 seconds, but we're going to leave you with some entertainment in the meantime because we're in our final week for the Adventurer's Log Kickstarter. So, as I mentioned, that Kickstarter's in its final 6 days. So, if you're going to get in while the getting's good. And speaking of getting in while the getting's good, Phil, we're running out of. There are 2 gold badges available. That's it.
Oh no, yes.
Wow.
I checked, you and I talked earlier, and with event selection, apparently, folks, not only, are people choosing their seats, but it seems like we've got some folks that have got a little bit of a fire under their rumps to get their badges the last 24 hours or so, because we've seen people piling in to grab their badges. So the rubber is meeting the road here, and I feel like the fence sitters have now decided to hop off the fence and join the rodeo, and are grabbing a badge. So again, if that's someone out there now, I know a lot of folks that join us here regularly for the live show are already all in and have their stuff. But anybody that catches this program either or is in the audience now, or maybe the next day or two, and you have not yet gotten it, like Ron just said, if you want a gold badge and want the ability to choose games right now,
There's only 2 left.
there's only 2 left.
There's only 2 left. So
Yeah.
So now would be the time to
Yes.
grab those. And additionally, there's only 1 vendor space left.
Yikes.
Wow.
Gulp.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna all be out of luck vendor wise, and you're gonna be out of luck choosing
Badge-wise.
events.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't jump on board, and of course our VIG badge holders choose their events next. So
Mhm.
Jeff, why don't you tell us a little bit? We talked a little bit about Cananza earlier.
Sure.
Why don't you talk a little bit about some of the things that you are going to be doing at Page this year, other than putting on the blindfold for
Right.
Jen's event?
Yes. Although I'm really looking forward to that now, Jen. That's going to be awesome.
I'm looking forward to it too.
So we've got a couple of panels. We're doing a panel, I believe it's Friday, on looking at the influence of pulps and like Weird Tales, especially on role-playing games. Obviously Appendix N will probably be a large part of that discussion. That's going to be cool. Jim Zubb's on that. Matt, I saw him in the chat there earlier, who we were talking about. That'll be a fun panel looking at the influences, right, on gaming, and talking about how you can incorporate that pulp feel into your games too. I think we'll get into that a lot, like I was talking about earlier with the Conan game earlier. Then we're going to have another panel on Sunday, and this one's going to be a lot of fun. It's looking at all the different iterations of Conan role-playing games over the years, and everybody on the panel is someone who was involved in one of those versions of a Conan role-playing game. We've got Matt on there, for obviously the newest version of the game. Chris Lights, who worked on the Modiphius game with me. In fact, it may have been Chris that even brought me into that, come to think of it. And then we've got Vincent Darledge, who was one of the main folks behind the Mongoose Conan game. And last but not least, we're going to have Zeb Cook, who did the Conan TSR game back in the day, right? So that's going to be an amazing panel. I'm going to moderate it. I was involved on the Modiphius game. So all of us are people that have worked on various versions of Conan role-playing games over the years. We'll be able to talk about, how we approached it, the different, kind of evolution of, games based on iconic barbarian characters. That's going to be fun. Games.
Let's just get down to the brass tacks.
Yeah.
It's going to get, we're going to spur the verbal sparring of which game is the best version of Conan RPGs.
Oh, that's tough. I'm not even gonna weigh in. I'm tempted right now to weigh in, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna save it for the panel. If you want to hear what I think, you got to come to the panel.
The best.
Yeah. There you go.
But I've got thoughts. Let me tell you.
I have an announcement to make related to Cananza at Page.
Get the
So
T-shirt.
so Jeff Butler did the original art for the Conan TSR Conan RPG. Jeff Butler has agreed to recreate that art
Ooh.
under the Conanza banner for the show.
I love it. That's gonna be
Nice.
awesome.
So, in fact, if you saw me looking away over here, it's because I was going back and forth with him in chat and making sure he was on board. But we are good to go. So that's wonderful. Everything keeps falling into place. Me and Jeff, I'll admit it. I will admit you did have a shortcoming. You failed me when it came to getting Sarah Frazetta there.
Oh, well, I mean, let me see. I can text her. We can see what we can do here.
Yeah. Let's get her on board because
I think she may be doing Frazetta Fridays right now as we speak, though, on her YouTube channel. So
well,
I don't know, maybe we should.
No. She posted a Frazetta Friday this morning. She did the faces of the Frazetta girls today.
So I'm wondering who's doing the new Savage Sword comic book. It looks just like the old one, the black and white. Get the editor of that there.
Well, of course, Jim Zub's
Well,
involved in that, right?
Yeah, Jim's written a lot of the stories for that, and he's kind of helping the editor Chris Butera with that. And I actually had a story in issue 4, which was my first attempt at writing a comic story. I had an essay, in one of them, which was, for me, that was a bucket list. Like actually, in Savage Sword of Conan, I've been in a couple of issues now. Being in the table tense with Roy Thomas, crom's sake, right? Pretty amazing. It's an incredible lineup of artists and writers for Savage Sword. Even getting Crom doesn't care. He really does care. It's amazing that we're even able to publish, a black and white magazine in this day and age when magazines are, going the way of the dinosaur. And we've been able to do it, and it's successful. I think we're on issue 15 is out now, I believe. It's been fun. Old school really black and white, Savage Sword of Conan, just like in the old days, right? Like some of us graybeards grew up with, and listen, it was a fight with Titan to even convince them to do this. It was only because the regular monthly comic surprised everyone right out of the gate, written by Jim Zub, who's going to be a guest, here this year. Only because that did so successful, they're like, all right, we'll give it a try, and even then it was, as we're working on this black and white magazine size, they're like, well, what if we just did it normal size? Like, no, it's got to be magazine size. All right, fine. And they're like, what if we did it in color? No, no, it's got to be black and white magazine like in the old days. And so fortunately it's been successful and it's been great. And some of the folks that have worked on it are going to be here at Page this year, like Jim, me, Sean Curley. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, it made me so happy when I saw that come out, because I used to have, it wasn't quite a complete collection of those originals, but it was darn close because I really enjoyed reading them. They felt so much like what I wanted out of the Conan franchise.
Well, the cool thing about them in the old days is they weren't censored like the regular monthly comic. Sorry, Ron, go ahead.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I wanted to get a sense of Stan's time drawing barbarians or pulp aspects of the hobby. I want to hear where Stan's at on this.
All right. So interestingly, I was just looking up something. So I was a big fan of Conan and Savage Sword magazines. I kind of, like Jeff was just saying, I love that difference. I love the monthly comic, but the black and white, first of all, the Buscema, mostly Buscema art, but boobs and heads being lopped off. You couldn't get that in the regular comic, but you could sure get it in the magazine. But I've, you know what? While I was a fan, I've never drawn them, and I realized no, I did once. I did there's a local art show that I was asked to participate in, and I did a triptych of drawings called. Well, here I will share it. How about that? And there we go. It was called Words and Pictures. And these are the 3 pieces.
Oh, cool.
You can't see them very well. But the one on the left, the words one, was a description.
Who's that supposed to be?
Oh, I don't know. Some hack.
I mean, he's got a luscious head of hair, that guy.
Yeah, well.
Isn't that Phil Folio?
Yeah, I think it must be. So my purple prose imitation of a Conan text, and then on the far side there was just a single image interpretation of that.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's awesome.
So
I love it.
That's cool.
That was words. This is pictures, and the middle one is and. So really, I was making a comics.
Nice. Oh, that's
words
awesome.
And pictures is comics.
Yes.
Oh, I love every minute of this, Stan. This is
that's
awesome.
Very cool.
So, if someone was looking to get into Conan for the first time, what's the easiest way for them to do that? What would you recommend?
What a great question. If you want to read one of the original Conan stories from the pulps, I would recommend The Tower of the Elephant as a great starter story. It's not very long. It's really cool. It's not Conan as what you might think if you've only, familiar with the Arnold movie and things like that. Creepy, weird, cosmic horror almost, incredible atmosphere. And it's very much, almost a dungeon crawl. It's really more of a caper kind of adventure.
Oh,
and
cool.
in fact, one of the games that I can't wait to sign up for, my good friend Mark Fenn, who is a Robert E. Howard's biographer, wrote one of the great biographies of Robert E. Howard, big gamer. He's going to be running a game based on, it's going to be sort of a sequel to The Tower of the Elephant, to that story. So I'm really looking forward to that.
He's doing that in Shadow Dark, is he not?
In Shadow Dark, that's right. Yeah, he's using Shadow Dark for that.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. Look, that's one of the things I'm talking about, the things I'm going to be doing. That's one I'm really looking forward to. Because I know Mark, he's a character, let me tell you. So that's going to be a fun story. I shouldn't be plugging it too much until I've actually signed up for it myself, or it's going to fill up. But that's a great way to enter it. I think if you want to read the comics, picking up the new monthly Titan comics is a great way to do it. You can pick up several of the free comic book day issues are available for digital download for free. I think on Amazon or Titan Comics website if you want to just check it out. So I would recommend that as well.
Now, we were just informed that Stan used to have very red hair.
Yeah, a long time ago.
So
I used to just have hair, but
so did Chet, by the way. Chet had very red hair. That's
Stan,
where
when you were living in Japan and had red hair, at least red beard, what did they used to call you?
Well, no, there's some feeling that I might have been mistaken for the creature known as Aka Oni, the red demon.
Oh, well, that's what they used to call former Philadelphia Phillies manager and Major League Baseball player Charlie Manuel, right? He was called the Red Devil when he played over there because he had red hair, and he was one of the league's top hitters when he played in Japan, and he was known as the Red Devil.
It was probably Aka Oni, literally. Yeah.
I remember joking around with Charlie Manuel. I was at the stadium for an event, and he was managing the Phillies at the time. And, I don't know if our viewers know this, but I speak Mandarin, right? And nobody expects it. Like, I'll just pop out with it, when I'm talking with the Chinese person. So we were kind of commiserating about that. And I said, how's your Japanese? He says, oh, it's very good. And I looked at him, I said, well, that's funny because, you know, I forget where he's from. He's from somewhere, Kentucky or somewhere down south. I said, that's funny because I can't understand what the hell you're saying when you speak English to me, let alone, you know, so.
As only you could, Ron.
Listen, he's never forgotten that. Every once in a while, I'll run into him, and he's never forgotten that. Yeah. So, what questions do we have from the audience? I mean, we've got two fascinating guests here tonight, and you know, we also should mention we have a couple really cool live plays.
Good point.
That are occurring related to, you know, the new Conan RPG, and which have such players as one of them's got Elisa Teague in it. One has Jim Zub, another has Jim Zub running the event. So Jeff's in one of the events. So we've got some pretty cool live play events, and we're going to be highlighting those. And we also have a pretty cool opportunity for people with a live play event this year. Professor Dungeon Master and his wildly successful Deathbringer backer kit that just ended. He is going to be doing a live play, running an event as a live play, but there's not going to be any celebrity players, or there might be, but everybody who plays in the game is going to be selected from the audience at the beginning and brought up on stage to play in the game. So, you know, that'll be a great opportunity. That'll be on the schedule. And then we have David Johnson's group coming up from South Carolina, and they're going to be doing a live play at Page this year. So, you know, Page as it continues to evolve, it's still a young RPG convention, but rapidly growing, obviously. Live plays haven't been something that we've done a lot of in the past, and this year they're going to be front and center.
That's exciting.
Yeah, we need to put somebody together with Dr. Emily Zarka for her Create a Monster workshop.
Ooh.
You know, Jeff, are you familiar with Emily? Have you seen her program before?
I'm familiar with some of her work, and I've seen Monstrum a couple of times, and I'm really looking forward. We're going to be on a panel together. I'm really looking forward to meeting her. That's going to be very cool because she also does the academic side of, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
tell me about this monster workshop. Maybe I need to sign up for that. Actually, that sounds super fun.
Well,
that does sound fun.
If you've never seen if you've seen Monstrum, or if you haven't seen a lot of Monstrum, I mean, Monstrum's a wildly popular PBS digital platform program that Dr. Zarka not only writes for, but produces and presents, and it's got like 1.1 million followers on YouTube. And she will take a monster, not just cryptids, but monsters and legendary creatures and things like that. And she'll take you through the history of that creature. When did it first appear in literature or history, or however it made its first appearance, and you know what the legends of that creature are, or the origins of those legends, and take you through and carry that creature all the way through to current times. and talk about, well, what was its role in pop culture? Where do we see this creature today? Oh, it's a Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
Most people know this creature because it's a Dungeons and
Yeah.
Dragons monster. But as she
That's
likes to point
right
out,
up my alley.
yeah. So as she likes to point out, like a hellhound isn't what a D&D hellhound is,
Right.
throughout history. And so she's going to do a comprehensive monster building workshop with a couple people from the RPG industry still to be determined. I think Elisa Teague's going to be one of them. Is that right, Phil? Isn't Elisa Teague one of them?
I believe so.
Yeah. But we're going to put a couple other people in there. And it's not only going to be about making the monster and does it have a claw or does it have teeth or does it have, fire rays shooting out of its eyes? It's going to be about taking the ecology, what's the ecology of your monster? What's the legend of this monster or this race or whatever it is? And they're going to put together and help people build monsters and build well-rounded monsters, not just something that, appears in the game and then, gets slaughtered mercilessly and then goes away, like something with some real meat to it. And, I think that's going to be fascinating. And we're also going to be throwing her into some, we're also going to be throwing her into some live play games because, believe it or not, she's not much of a gamer, but wants to be. So
Cool.
yeah, and what a nice person she is. So
Very cool.
yeah, so she we're going to be mixing her in, and we have a few other interesting panels that are going to be coming up at page 2 that aren't even on the schedule yet, but we heard earlier from our good friends at the Pacesetter Games here about they're going to have the Choose Your Own Path books, and of course, there's Pick a Path to Adventure, and there were all these different things in the past. And in fact, there were, Jeff, I don't know if you know this, there were a series of Conan Choose Your Own Path adventures as well.
Oh yeah. I had a couple of them. They are really tough to find today. They are highly collectible if you can find them today.
Yeah.
Go for big bucks. You'd be surprised.
So
I've lost mine when I was a kid. I got to track them down someday.
Well, I have a feeling that we're going to see a lot of Conan stuff popping up at the convention because we're doing we're doing an entire exhibit really with some art and with the role-playing game items and
that's cool.
and the different books and things like that. But our friends from Pacesetter are going to be, talking about their Choose Your Own Path and that they're trying to bring that back. But we have the queen of Choose Your Own Path Adventures who's going to be with us at Page and Rose Estes this year. She's the one who, brought those to the surface for TSR, and they were popular. So they're going to be doing a panel together. So It's going to be, we're going to have a lot of fun things.
That's great.
What do we have? What do we have from the crowd? We've got.
I think I saw a couple questions in there.
Yeah. What do we have here, Philberto?
There's a lot of questions we hadn't gotten to that slid past quite a while ago, but I don't know if we'll have the ability to go back. But our good friend Neil in chat, Mr. Blawface, is asking about.
He's very excited, Phil. He's hyped
yes.
up. In fact, he's very hyped up.
Is he? I don't believe you.
He's hyped up. Is Neil this year's Pickles?
I think it's starting to be that way. Yes.
Is that why he's jumping up and down? Because he needs to relieve himself on the floor?
He needs
The idea that the guy in that video is also Mr. Blawface tickles me no end.
It's true.
I love the name.
Listen, just for anybody in the audience who doesn't know the legend of Pickles, and especially for Jeff, because I don't think Jeff knows about Pickles.
I don't know. Tell me the legend.
Pickles is a Boston Terrier who came to page 2 with her owner and proceeded to poop on the floor.
Oh boy!
Because she was so nervous, and the owner didn't realize, and then walked through it and kind of dragged it around everywhere with him.
No.
So the whole theme leading up to page 3 was Pickles was banned.
Oh.
Yeah. And there were a series of like videos and images, and we would have a weekly Pickles update on the program.
Don't forget the T-shirts.
Yeah, there would be a weekly Pickles update. And it'd be like, hey, we have a Pickles update. And then there would be a new picture of Pickles with like a circle slash saying still banned underneath.
Oh, poor Pickles.
So
Pickles was just excited.
So eventually, cold-hearted Ron gave in and allowed Pickles to come to the convention.
Good.
But Pickles vowed she was going to take revenge. And so if you wanted to win a door prize last year, you had to find and turn in 3D printed pickle droppings to the front. The problem is people were more interested in the pickle droppings and keeping those than they were in getting the door prizes.
Wow.
So we went in with 36. We went in with 36 3D printed dog poos and came out with 4.
Wow. Okay.
Well,
Pickles merch, sort of.
Well, there were Pickles T-shirts. There were free Pickles T-shirts. There were signs popping up all over the convention center that said "Free Pickles." I don't know who put those up, but they came out. I believe Chad Hansen, aka Chester Mitten, aka Chet Mitten, had something to do with those.
Yeah, that's great. Pickles poop. I love it.
Yes, Pickles poop.
Listen, just like whoopee cushions when we were kids, things related to that. Yeah, it was always going to be funny. I mean,
everybody likes scatological humor, of course.
Yeah. All right.
Of course, Wes, if you found one, it would be on your set now because we all know you have sticky fingers, Wes. A track record of egg theft.
And now poop theft.
Yeah, admitted.
Goodness.
All right. What other questions do we have here? I'm kind of scrolling through.
Well, Neil actually had asked a serious question about literacy in general, and he did mention. I don't know if anyone saw. There was a viral video of a teacher this past week made its rounds on the internet. Very emotional, talking about how some of his older kids, 17, 18-year-old kids, really couldn't read, and how this is a travesty. And Neil's trying to make the point that we all are involved in this hobby where literacy is a cornerstone to being able to mostly enjoy the hobby. Does RPGs have a space in helping to tackle that problem?
I think RPGs definitely have that space, but I would point people at comic books. Most comic books actually have a higher reading level than most people would think. They have more rare words in them and things like that. And it's a shorter read for somebody usually, and it's got pictures, so you want to get somebody started on reading, that's not a bad place to start. Comic books, picture books, and segue them into things like role playing where they can play games, simple board games, card games.
I learned to read from comics. I got an early start on reading when I was probably, even 6, from reading comics and matching the pictures with the words and figuring it out.
I
Mhm.
think I think that the explosion of low reading level, low grade level graphic novels is going to begin to turn this problem around. It doesn't stop that it's a problem now and will be for the the time it takes for this generation to catch up. But when I read what Neil had written before, and I agree. I think that that games have an absolute point. The number of people I can point to who tell stories about the reason they read was because they played a game and they wanted to know more about something. The challenge is getting it's not a direct link; it's an inspirational link, and getting schools, particularly school management, to see the value of increasing that behavior, or sponsoring clubs and giving kids the opportunity to do these things which will inspire them to want to read more.
Okay. I agree.
Very-
I agree, and I've said this, and I think people think I have said it tongue in cheek, but I truly believe this. If it hadn't been for role playing games distracting me as a kid, like capturing my attention and keeping me, grounded in reading, I'd be in jail. I'd be in jail. And that's just the facts. I mean, it just wasn't a lot going on where I grew up. You got into trouble. That's what you did. That's what people did. And so for me, it was a huge thing. Helped me with my studies, and kept me out of trouble. Most importantly, Anthony Simeone asks, Jeff, what is an interesting or obscure story about Robert E. Howard that most people might not know? And there's a follow-up to this.
Okay.
So before you answer that, also, he's going to want to know what one of the coolest artifacts from Conan antiquity, such as any manuscripts or other things you've seen or handled. And
I could show you something pretty cool.
Listen, this is a PG-13 show.
Oh no, it's good.
Okay.
But I could show.
We have Meg on here. We have Meg on here with us, so you have to be careful.
We don't want her to blush.
But I to piggyback on that, I'm going to throw something else. So you have two questions.
Okay.
And then the third thing is, you as a real, true, working archaeologist. Okay, not digging up beer cans outside of a torn down horse racing track. You dug in Robert E. Howard's backyard, did you not?
I excavated in Robert E. Howard's backyard. Yeah,
okay.
That was something else actually. That was talking about worlds colliding, right? My day job and my side hustle or whatever, right? Let me answer Anthony's questions first, and then we'll talk about that. So, cool story about Robert E. Howard. A lot of people may not know, and this we didn't, even those of us that work in this didn't really know until some photographs surfaced a few years back, showing Robert E. Howard dressed as a pirate, sword fighting with his neighbor friends. They're probably all in their late teens, maybe early 20s, pretending to be pirates and swashbuckling and fighting each other. This is Robert E. Howard in the 1920s, cosplay, LARPing, in his yard. Howard was into that, way back in the day, which I always think is kind of cool. He tended to do that, getting into his stories when he was writing. He would act out when he's writing a boxing story. People would see him walking down the street like boxing, and he's thinking, and the whole time he's thinking in his head how he's going to be, narrating that, right? So Howard himself really loved to act out, these characters that he wrote, which I think is pretty cool, and even dressing up in costume to do it, which is kind of fun. Artifacts. I'm a collector, so I've got a lot of really cool, rare stuff, rare fanzines from the 1930s, and lots of pulp magazines. But if you want to see a really cool Robert E. Howard artifact that I managed to acquire a few years ago, this is, let's see if we can get it on the camera where you can see it. This is a signed letter. Yep. There you go.
Ooh.
This is a signed letter by Robert E. Howard that I picked up a few years ago from Patrice, actually, a colleague of mine. He was writing to a friend of Robert Barlow, who, if you're anybody that's a Lovecraft fan, might be familiar with Barlow, who lived here in Florida, where I live. And so, yeah, that was probably one of my coolest artifacts. I have a lot of neat stuff in my collection, but to finally get one of Robert E. Howard's letters, and signed one, that's pretty darn cool. And it's one that we didn't know about until just a few years ago, until it surfaced. So something kind of cool.
That is neat. So tell us about digging in the backyard. What did you find? Was it a Geraldo Rivera situation?
Kind of. Hang on one second.
It wasn't Al Capone's vault,
right?
Was it?
It was kind of. Oh boy! Yeah, I just lost power here. Sorry. Wow. It's storming here. I've got. So I'm running on my laptop battery now. Holy cow! Just lost power.
I was going to say it.
Yep.
Still have internet though.
Yep, it's hanging in there. Okay, that's cool. It must be. Oh, it's going off my phone. That's why I'm on my hotspot.
Your hotspot.
So we excavated the storm cellar in his backyard, and it was full of mason jars, actually, which was completely what you would expect in a storm cellar, from 1930s. One of the cool things that we found, though, was this tiny little miniature battle axe, little double-headed battle axe that we found in the screen coming out of there. We're like, what the heck is this, right? What is this? Surely that's way too on the nose, right? To be whatever, right? And but that went viral because people were watching the dig. We were sharing online, as we were doing it. It was very much a public archaeology, event, and that even in Archaeology Magazine did a write up on it. Conan digging up Conan's backyard or whatever. They had a picture of this little battle axe in there, and it turns out it was a frog pelvis, but it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with it before we found out what it actually was. So.
A frog pelvis.
Yep.
Oh my.
So fun stuff. But yes, that was, for me, that was pretty amazing to get have the opportunity to do that.
Phil, what's the coolest thing that you dug up? With like a pull top from a Schlitz can? Like, what was it?
No, I want to say that when I went to grad school in England, we got a call at the department from a guy who lived about an hour and a half away from the university, saying, "Oh, I'm going to build an addition to my garage, and when I built my original garage, the backhoe dug up some bones, and I think it like there might be more there, and if you're interested, you can come out and take a look." Well, this was in an area of England known as the Isle of Axholme, which was a marshy area like 1,500 years ago or what have you. A lot of Viking activity, lots. And Dr. Chamberlain, one of my professors, who's an osteologist, someone who studies bones, specifically, we went out there and we laid a unit out right next to this guy's garage, and we found the upper half of a Viking burial that had been he had gotten chopped in half, and since I was the only person there that had done human burial recovery in the past in the U.S. Well, they made me do it. Not that I didn't want to, but working on a burial is usually pretty exciting, and everybody wants to do it. And so I got to do that. The bone was very brittle.
What Phil's not telling you is his experience in the U.S. with Viking stuff was reading Hagar the Horrible comic strip.
That's a good comic strip.
Yeah, but Phil, did you ever dig up a frog pelvis? That's what we want.
I may have. I may have. I don't know. But
if we had just handed this to Jen, if you had handed that so-called battle axe that you had to Jennifer here, her sensitive fingers would have said, "This is nothing more than a old frog pelvis."
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
I don't.
Jennifer, is that true?
I mean, it could be true.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of educated people here on our program tonight. So I have a quick question that I'd like somebody from our panel to answer for me, because there was an argument today at work. How warm are babies when they're born?
Oh,
I know this one.
I know it. Do you want us to say?
Stan, do you know?
Why you asked me the other night when you were on my show, so I do know. I figured out then too. But if anyone is stumped, let's let them ponder it for a bit.
How warm are babies when they're born? Is that the question?
Does the first person get a prize? Is this the Troll Lord trivia?
Yeah, no. It's they're roughly womb temperature.
Oh my. Oh my.
I just quickly wanted to say hi to my friend in chat from Ireland. He mentioned he's a local celeb in a Pennsylvania group. That's how we met each other. And I said, you should be a special guest at the show just for that. Your Pennsylvania memes from Ireland and England.
He's from Ireland.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's probably just staggering home from the pub right now. All right.
There's a question that popped up in the chat was how long the PDF is.
Yes.
That I was showing earlier, and it is the PDF is 20 pages long with 12 pages of comics and 2 pages of photos and some other stuff.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. All right. So Jeff, I mentioned earlier that we were putting together an exhibit, and you're actually part of that.
Oh,
that small group. Yeah, you're in the chat. You just haven't been saying anything in that chat.
Oh, I missed that part. Okay.
Yeah. So
I've been in the field the last few weeks. I've been like
it's actually been it's kind of being chaired by an artist by the name of Cheese Hasselberger.
Okay.
Stan, do you know Cheese? Do you know him?
Do I know who?
Cheese Hasselberger. He's an RPG industry artist from New Jersey here. He and Chet and some others are putting together this thing, and we asked Jeff to kind of weigh in, but he's been
of course.
he's been asleep at the switch.
Well, I guess I missed the chat. I'll have to go and look for it. Is it in Messenger?
Yeah, it's in Messenger.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll go find it. Yeah, I mean,
so what we have is we have every role-playing item ever produced related to Conan role-playing.
Okay.
Games. Whether that's Steve Jackson, Mongoose Monolith, TSR,
Modifius,
it's all there. It's all going to be there. But we also have some art that's going to be there. We've got some original sketches from comic book artist Tim Shin.
Cool.
Who has put some stuff together, and Cheese has put some stuff together, and obviously Jeff Butler's piece is going to go in there now, and I'm
If
thinking
you want my weird ones, I'll send them.
no, absolutely. Let's put them in there. They fit right in there.
So
we need
I've got
some
some
stuff as well.
I've got some of the original art from the Conan Modifius game that I could.
There you go.
That I could bring if that would.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That'd be kind of cool.
That's exactly what we. It's exactly what we do want there.
Yeah,
hey, speaking
I've got
of the
some
Modifius game, does our games library have the Conan board game?
Yes, it's got a complete set of the Monolith Conan board game.
It would be awesome if some of our badge holders, some of the people who maybe want to do some events could sign up and run those games over in the games library, because the games library is huge. Our pickup board game area is great, and it would be nice if that was just continuously available. Somebody.
Well, I'm trying to get somebody from. I'm getting feedback off of somebody's mic there. I don't know who's. I was
muted while you were getting feedback, so it wasn't me.
Okay. Yeah, it stopped. So somebody changed something that stopped it. But we're trying to get some other folks from Monolith there. So we'll see. It's a little bit like pulling teeth. But I think we have a better chance to get Sarah Frazetta there. Based on Jeff's positive, like I'll send her a text.
I tried. She's not much of a gamer, I don't think. But.
She doesn't need to be. You don't need to be a gamer to be there,
right?
Listen, gamers are interested in Frazetta.
For sure.
Just let's put that aside. Like that's a big deal, and she could be coming up there, peddling her action figures that she's doing and things like that. And
she would probably do very well, I would think.
Yeah. Come on, twist her arm.
I'll work on it.
Yes. All right. Let's see. We keep referring to Cheese. No, that's not what it is. Okay, there's a lot of like weird like side conversations going on about Irish heritage in the chat. It's a little odd, but that's okay. That's okay, Meg.
We stay proud.
It's because it's all you got.
There you go.
So I shouldn't say anything. I shouldn't say anything at all because I spent a lifetime making fun of Scottish people. And then it turns out when I did my DNA test, I'm 50% Scottish. So yeah. Irony. So what last questions do we have for our guests tonight? Before we let them go off into the darkness.
I had a question for Jeff.
Sure.
So one thing I really like is going to the physical places where writers and artists I'm inspired by are from. Like I went to Providence to check out H.P. Lovecraft stuff, and I was like being there. I was like, wow, I can see where some of this vision comes from.
Yes.
And so like you've got that archaeological background, so you're fully digging into this stuff.
A true professional.
Yeah, a true professional archaeologist.
I am, yes.
And so I was just wondering what places, whether it's Howard or Lovecraft or anyone else, were you like, wow, like I see this vision here.
So I've also been to Providence a few times. I've been, Necronomicon, which is actually going on this weekend right now, Necronomicon Providence. Gone there a number of times over the years. And yeah, it's cool to be able to see that. It's the same in Cross Plains, Texas, where Howard is from. For those who don't know, his house is still there. It's a museum. It's on the National Register of Historic Places. Every year, the second weekend in June, we have a small event there called Howard Days, which is kind of a little mini con where people show up. And you can definitely see things there. But I'll tell you, one of the The real places where you can see where the landscape itself really informed his stories. It's a nearby large hill called Caddo Peak. And it used to be at Howard Days every year. We would go up there and have a barbecue with the owners of the ranch would let us go up there, and we would walk up this peak and looking out over this, vast landscape there, in Texas. And you can really, I think, get a sense, and Howard loved to go up to that peak, right, and look out there, right. You can see maybe how he got the ideas of just this, an ancient landscape. You look on the ground and you'll see rocks with fossils in them and all of that, right, at one point, and marine fossils, right. At one time, this peak was underwater. For someone like Howard, who loves to write stories in deep time, the Hyborian age 10,000 years ago, Kull 100,000 years ago, I can imagine how that landscape probably inspired him, probably maybe fired his imagination off, to try and tell those stories of vast antiquity, tell those stories of deep time, of prehistoric worlds and lost landscapes, right, that aren't there anymore. So to me, that's probably would be maybe the best answer to your question for me. Caddo Peak there in Clarksville.
That's awesome. I got to check that place out.
Yeah.
A number of
Come
years
to Howard
ago
Days.
at the Lovecraft Film Festival, I saw a documentary about the Howard Days called Barbarian Days.
Oh dear Lord!
I'm sure you're aware of that.
Yes,
was
very
my
embarrassing
introduction to the town and what was going on there.
Yes,
folks should look that up. It's a really good documentary.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm going to attempt to go to Howard Days next year.
Oh man, you would enjoy it. So
I had to settle for having Tom Doolin get me a T-shirt.
Oh, Tom, cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tom and his wife Michelle are good friends of mine. So.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I've known Tom online for years and finally got to meet him in person this year at Howard Days.
Well, you'll see him again at Page because they come to Page.
Awesome.
Now, there's a question for Stan. Stan, what's your favorite strip that you've ever done, and in what publications? So, I'll speak for Stan. I know Stan's a big fan of Magic City down in Atlanta. That just fell flat. That fell totally flat. Magic City's a big strip club down in Atlanta. Famous strip club down in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's good.
It's where all the football players get into trouble down there.
One for me.
What was that?
I would say the Vegas Gentlemen's Club in Darien, Wisconsin was a big one for me.
Ah, okay. But so what was your favorite strip?
That's such a every artist I know just dreads that question because the one that's in your head is the latest one you did for sure, and then you're choosing between your babies. But I tell you, if there's one series that I like the best, it was the Typos of Doom that I did for the TSR, the D&D website in the late 90s, and they were taking actual typos that had been turned over by writers, but that editors had caught, so they never went out. And I've been thinking of putting together a collection of those because I've still got the originals and the rights to them. But that's what I would pick.
See, Michael Doherty's here with us tonight, Jen.
Another Irish name, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, the breeding was prolific. We'll give you that. I mean,
I'm just saying we got strength in numbers, Ron. Don't cross us.
It's God's will. Yes, that strength in numbers that came out over centuries of warfare with the British. Yes, it really did. It really showed. It really came to the surface.
Okay. Meg, I'm with you. I'm mostly Irish too.
Yeah,
I'm with
thank you.
What do we got here? We got Neil. This is a great question. Neil wants to know if you've heard about Henry Winkler. No? You haven't heard about Henry Winkler?
Oh, God. Here we go.
Jeff, we're all being quiet because we know exactly where this is leading, so it's all for your benefit.
Oh. Okay.
You heard he got arrested, right?
I did not.
The FBI arrested him because he was involved in some kind of financial scheme.
Henry Winkler, the Fonz?
Yeah, the feds are calling it a Fonzie scheme.
Oh no! I saw it coming. I should have seen it coming.
Ron, that joke is tired.
It's Jump the Shark.
Oh god.
We need to put it to
that
bed.
was better. That was better. The follow-up, the Jump the Shark follow-up was better.
All right, so
That was a
Dan,
running gag. It's okay.
I've been wanting to have people share one of your fun Spellfire stories because Phil is such a big Spellfire fan.
You keep saying that, and I'm not sure. Like one of the first things I had to do when I got to TSR was to go out. It's just like in December, go out into a field in Wisconsin and strip down and put on a costume and take a photo for a photo card, standing out in the middle of a Wisconsin soy field. And it was Olaf the Sly was the name of that card.
Olaf the Sly. I probably have it. I gotta go and check it out if I have it.
Go to a convention where there was a very rabid Spellfire player.
That is a longer story than you really want told right here.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I did go to Origins East 1994 specifically to buy Spellfire chase cards. That is a true story, and I bought lots.
No, Phil, we'll try
Phil,
and get a
you
dinner
hurt your
sometime.
reputation with every word. You really do.
I've got a few Spellfire stories, but
oh man,
so
none of them are really that good.
So Chuck Cumbo says, Ron, I'd like to bring a set of our Robert E. Howard art books if they would apply. And this is from Trollord Games. Yes, absolutely, Chuck. That would be wonderful. Yeah, we would love that. The first thing you got to do is get out of the hospital, my friend. I think I speak for everybody watching tonight saying, hey, get better, man. Get out of the hospital. So, oh my God, Neil is taking some abuse here over the Henry Winkler thing. Oh, Chuck wants to donate the Robert E. Howard art books. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, Neil, don't apologize. Henry Winkler is always relevant, my friend. So Neil says he wants to check out Howard Days, but I'm not sure the flying and the vacation times. It's a family show. Stan went to the dark side.
Ron took me there.
Yes. Oh my God. People are suggesting they should be killed. Ron is just rolled a natural one. Oh no. Jen, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking Lafroig.
Lafroig?
That's every week.
Not every week.
choice.
Sometimes I drink oh God, what's it called? Willet Rye.
Willet Rye, are you?
I don't know. Will it?
Yes, I call it dildo because it has
Whoa!
It has a taste of dill pickle at the end of it.
Whoa!
So you drink it and then you get a taste of dill pickle.
What the hell just happened?
Of all
Jen,
people.
When this show ends, and we go
That
off the
escalated
air,
quickly.
we go off the air. The system here at Restream is so kind to do some clips of what it thinks are the most interesting things that happened during the show, so you can put them up as shorts on YouTube.
Yep.
And you just said a magic word.
No.
Oh my gosh. I did,
Don't take it out of context.
How can you not?
And Phil was so sure you were a prude. My gosh.
It's not a big deal.
I like her dad jokes better.
Agreed.
Oh, no way. womb temperature. All right, let's see. Phil, show those spellfire cards, or just didn't happen.
They're packed away. Packed away.
Everybody's
You
sending.
need to, Phil. You need to get him out because Ed's in at least one or two of those.
Yeah.
You got to get him to sign some of those.
Yeah, I really should. I
I
mean,
was going to be in more, but I was on deadline, so
I will tell you, if you look closely, you look at event schedules for conventions, the last year and a half or so, there's been a I'm going to call it a renaissance of Spellfire interest at Gary Con and at Gen Con, in where people are running Spellfire events at cons now.
No,
Is
they're
that
not.
like Magic the Gathering?
It is a collectible card game, but does not play like Magic at all. I think the rules are better, and I'm gonna stand on that business all day long, because I think it's a well designed game, and I think if people played it, they'd be like, you know what, that actually is a pretty damn good game. It just got consumed by Magic.
Michael Doherty says that, Jen, you have to give up your membership card. You just embarrassed all of us.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Aw.
No way.
Yeah, that's what he said. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I got Chuck Cumbo booing me from his hospital bed. Let's talk about, we have Fosco Lockright in the chat, otherwise known as Ed Lopez, who is canceling our Walking Dead game on Sunday. He had suddenly had to cancel it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the disappointment. My goodness.
I mean, you can wait a week, Ron, right?
No. Oh boy, let's see. Anthony Simeone's not running it at Page. So, all right. Any last questions from the panel or from the audience before we let our guests go?
Jeff, what was the question that you wanted to know about the Tolkien thing? Because I'm going to be seeing Ed and my friend. We're getting together tomorrow night, so I can.
Oh yeah, it was a letter that he wrote to L. Sprague de Camp back in the '60s when de Camp sent him a copy of his paperback. I think it was Spell of Seven, one of his early sword and sorcery anthologies in the early mid '60s. And Tolkien had written back about it, and there is a letter out there, and it was sold at auction a few years ago. You can see in there, like, you can make out where he's talking about the C.L. Moore story in there, the Jirel of Jory story, and he goes on about that for a little bit. But yeah, I would love to see if he mentioned anything about the Conan story in that one. But who knows? It'd be kind of cool.
I'll see what I can find out.
See what he knows. That'd be cool.
Meg, any questions from you?
Well, I think I asked my big question, but I did want to ask Stan, how did you develop and finesse your style?
Practice.
And what do you like to draw on best when you're just rapid doodling?
I do almost all my drawing on an iPad these days, but I just like regular ballpoint pen on a notebook paper. I have tons and tons of notebooks filled with ideas. I used to have a blog called Doodle a Day, right? It was just a shot of one image, and they almost all have those blue lines behind them because that's what I do most of my drawing in.
Awesome.
Yes, Chuck. I was truly shocked at Jennifer's admission. Yes.
Oh, come on.
And I guess
Hey.
Sputnik wants to be part of the show now too.
You gotta try Will It Rye. You'll see I'm right.
I think you've had enough.
I'm curious now. I like rye anyway, so I'm gonna have to go try it. We'll see.
All right. Filberto, any last questions for our guests?
No, I don't believe so. I think we, well, I mean, I'm sure, Stan, I'd love to hear your Spellfire stories at some point, perhaps off camera. And Jeff, yeah,
We'll talk archaeology for sure.
Yeah,
You guys can talk. You guys can talk proper.
I got some burial stories too.
Yeah. I was Googling you when we were to see, So yeah, I see you've done some CRM, which is what I did a bunch of myself here in stateside. So
I was Park Service for many years for NPS, National
Yeah.
Park Service, and then jumped to the private sector a couple of years ago. So.
Yeah, I never worked for the government, but I did work for Goodwin and Associates in Frederick, Maryland for years.
I know Goodwin well. Yep.
Yep.
Of course.
I worked for them for years.
Nice. Very cool. We're simpatico.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're talking shop here, all of y'all. Y'all don't know.
That does remind me of a good question. Jeff, have you ever dug anything up in Philadelphia?
I have not.
Nothing but dead bodies and spent shell casings.
Yeah, right. I have dug dead bodies and spent shell casings, just not in Philadelphia. I've dug that in
Not
Ukraine,
yet.
though. Actually, that's a story.
There's always a first
I
time.
thought Jeff was going to say no, but I've buried some things there.
I've buried some things in Philly.
Well, it's funny with the Meg, to your question. It's not Philly, but it's Baltimore. When I lived in Maryland, right outside of college, because that's where my company was. It was in Frederick, but we did in Baltimore a lot, and we were working in downtown Baltimore on an urban site.
Yep.
And one of our principals came down. Actually, the vice president of the company came down, and he said, "I'm going to go get a drink. I think there's a convenience store like a block away," and he never comes back. We're like, what? What the hell happened to Chris? This is probably not good. And then finally he comes back and he's with a bunch of police officers.
Oh no.
We're like, what happened? And he goes, well, I went to go to that convenience store and I took a shortcut down an alley and I found a dead body behind a mattress.
Oh my God.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
And I called the police.
That's a very Baltimore story.
Wow.
Wow.
Right.
Well, Ed and I almost buried somebody from West Baltimore about 6 months ago.
I was good. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good story too.
Broke up a fight. Yeah.
It's starting to turn into an episode of The Wire.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I just So I was like,
Right. Ed or Jen, any last questions before we let them go?
Not for me.
Okay.
And yeah, so what got you interested in Conan in the first place?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, I mentioned earlier my introduction to the character was actually when I was really young, probably younger than most people come to Conan, and it was the back in the 70s, you could get there would be comic books, but they would come with a record in the back that you could play, and it would narrate the comic along with it. And I got that when I was really young, and that was really my introduction to the character. And then after that, I started picking up the regular monthly Conan comic. So it was the comic first that kind of got me into it. And I've always had a fascination for fantasy. I think the Rankin Bass Hobbit animated show that came out in 1977 was another one. I was 5 years old. That imprinted in my brain. So I've always had this interest, even from that really early age. The Filmation Tarzan Sunday morning, cartoon too, around the same time. So 5 or 6 years old, I was getting all this pulpy fantasy, sword and sorcery stuff, warping my brain at a very early age before I was fully developed, probably. And I think that's probably what led to it.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Well, we have, speaking of Rankin Bass. Oh, that didn't come out very well.
Hey, there it is.
Oh, hey.
I can almost see it clearly.
There
we
you
go.
Pretty good. Oh, there it is.
Right? I can almost hear the theme song, right?
Yeah.
The Greatest Adventure.
So that is actually drawn by Chet Minton,
Oh, cool.
Nice.
our resident artist.
Love it.
So
Yeah, I've got his "Where There's a Whip, There's a Way" shirt,
Ha!
yes.
Nice.
which is great.
Yeah, let's not talk too much about that. I'm afraid what'll come out of Jen's mouth
I
tonight.
know, right?
Oh, please.
No kink shaming here. Come on now.
All right. Well, listen, Stan and Jeffrey, thank you for being with us tonight. We appreciate it, and we're looking forward to seeing you both in January, if not sooner.
Yeah, me too.
I know I'll
Absolutely.
see Stan sooner, for sure.
Yeah, I
Yes.
caught some of your stream the other night.
Hopefully, you didn't catch anything from it.
No, it was nice. I didn't know you guys were doing it.
Ron turns out he's a pretty good guest. Pretty good.
Every
Yeah,
once in a
he is.
while. Every once in a while. Like special page stream, all things Spellfire.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
With ideas like that, I can see why Steve Chanot keeps you around at Troll Lord there, Chuck. All right. Well, we're going to let Stan and Jeff go. Thank you both. And we will see you both sooner than January, I'm sure.
I hope
Thanks.
so.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Had a blast.
All righty.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
coming.
coming.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Good night, Jeff. Okay. Well, that was a lot of fun.
They are pretty cool.
Phil,
Yes.
take us through today's carnage on event selection day.
Well, the last 2 days.
Any Spellfire on the schedule.
Yeah, there was probably 15 to 20 messages around that topic, the exact topic. But no, in all seriousness, I would just remind people before I do say a few words here. As we get deeper into all of this, I would highly recommend folks join our Discord server. We have nearly 500 people on there. I just looked at the membership totals today, and that is a way how you can get your questions answered pretty quickly. I know I've got my notifications set up for literally, I get notified if anybody posts anything in any channel on our Discord server. So I get pinged on purpose, and that's the best way as going forward to get your answers to your questions. Yeah, our gold badge holders were anxious with their trigger fingers at 6 p.m. this evening, East Coast time, to be able to choose their events, and it was smooth. We got very few, if any, really, complaints with regard to the tech, the underlying tech, to be able to choose your events, to be able to get them in your cart, to be able to cash out and get what you wanted. If you wanted to go in there and get merch, it's been there for a while now. And that's another reminder, folks. If you want a T-shirt, if you want page memorabilia, stickers, pins,
They
iron-on
also
patches.
have a Conanza T-shirt.
Correct. We have
Just
a
saying.
Conanza T-shirt and a Conanza pin.
Ooh.
Ooh is right.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like we
Great.
need to get a pin for the board.
Yes, right. It's all there for the taking there, friends. I don't believe those 2 outstanding gold badges sold.
They did
since we
not. They
started
did
the
not.
show.
No.
Yeah, I did see a badge sold,
Yeah.
but not a gold badge.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough. Yeah. And so next Friday, we then are opening event selection for VIG badge holders.
Yes.
And
which is a new badge type for this year.
correct.
Remind me again, what is that?
Very important gamer.
Ah.
Yes. Very important gamer indeed. So those folks will get an opportunity to go in. Now, I will also mention this. I'm going to be mentioning this for the next couple of months, most likely. Not everything that we wanted to have on the schedule is on the schedule right now. So we're going to be adding more stuff. It's just the way all of these things happen for cons. And so it behooves you, if you have not yet completely fleshed out your schedule, to go in there and take a look around. You're going to find some hidden gems that I know last year I was sitting on the event schedule looking. I'm like, I can't believe this one event still has a ticket, or I can't believe this event still has 2 tickets. Because it's such a banger. And then someone will then figure that out, and they're like, oh my goodness gracious, like swipe them up real quick and be like pigs in the pigsty, right? Rolling around in it, so happy that they got what they wanted. So always keep going in there and taking a look. I'll just tell a quick anecdote. Like at Gen Con, I was just at Gen Con 3 weeks ago. WotC, heavy hitting WotC. They went absolutely bananas out there this year. They spent easily a couple $1,000,000 on what they did out there in Gen Con. But those events weren't added to the schedule until about a month before the con, when everybody else had gotten their stuff in and chose. It just happens. So, I just for instance, Roll for Combat asks, are there any Deathbringer games on there? Steven, I added 12 Deathbringer games personally myself this morning from 2 Professor Dungeon Masters patrons. And so, yes, there are 12 Deathbringer games in the system right now for you or anyone else for that matter to choose.
And there's Professor DM's live play is
That's
there,
right.
that it's free to watch, and you could get selected from the crowd to play.
Mhm.
And
That's exciting.
Dan was Professor DM was kind enough to agree to run a charity game for our gamer assistance program, which immediately sold out today.
Yes, it did.
At the not so cheap price of $75 a seat.
Yeah, those got hoovered up real quick. But to that point, and Steven, I caught the live. I got some of the live stream last night with you and Baron and Dan. I was at a Foo Fighters concert with my kid, and the opening band. I had my earbuds in, listening to the live stream as you were counting down the final few minutes and hours of that. So yeah. So if anybody out in the crowd and you want to try out Deathbringer, come this January. The rules will be in a more refined state than they are right now, and some tickets have already sold. I went in there not too long ago, and some of those seats have already gone. So,
but we just have to make sure that Dan runs all the time he's scheduled to run, because I don't want to have to send him a text telling him how disappointed I was that he didn't run the full allotment of time.
yeah, well, we'll just have to make sure we have him on call.
The inside jokes are just oozing out tonight.
We're gonna give him a little beeper, and every time it buzzes in his pocket, he knows he needs to be somewhere.
Oh boy.
But yeah, so yeah, Steven says I had to run his games. Yeah, I think you had to run some of his Down the Dark Stairway last year because he was supposed to be there, if I remember correctly.
Well, you know what? There's a long and storied history of GMs, of special guest GMs, doing things other than running their games when they should be running their games at Page. Look, Phil's shaking his head. He knows where I'm going. I'm going north of the border. I'm going north of the border.
10-foot pole. Bring it out and don't touch it. No, can't go there. No. Not safe for
Oh,
work.
yeah, I mean, Jen already went dildo tonight. Why? How can we?
Oh,
not go?
come
Is there
on.
anywhere we won't go?
It was funny.
Meg's
Hey.
like, I don't see the problem.
There's a provincial park in New Brunswick called Dildo Run Park. Like it's an actual name of like a
Really?
yes, look it up. Yes, it's in New Brunswick, Canada. Yeah, people take pictures in front of it all the time. Swear to
That's
God.
interesting.
Jen, is that where you did your wedding vows?
No.
Oh,
Actually, we had a D&D wedding.
Ooh.
yeah. My invitation got lost in the mail. How about yours, Phil?
I didn't know you then. It was
Yeah.
2022.
Who was I just listening to? I was listening to a podcast last week, and the person was talking about their D&D themed wedding, and they got D20s made for their wedding as table favors. Favors. And all these people at the wedding were like, "What the hell am I going to do with this?" And one of their buddies who was really into
that was our show.
Was that our show?
That's our show. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We had whole dice sets made.
You, Jen. Yeah, you were. Yeah. Yeah. See, I wasn't on that show. I was listening to it when I was on vacation. That's why I wasn't on that episode. Yeah. And some guy took all the dice, right?
There were a few people that took dice.
A few.
Because most people didn't know what to do with them. So I have a few, and then our friends took the rest of them.
So all right. Well, I guess before we go off the air tonight, there's a couple of other things we want to go over. One, we did open up our diversity grant applications for people who want to come to Page and maybe have some transportation costs to overcome or hotel rooms to overcome. So, we're working through that. We've received some applications already. Man, I am getting feedback, something fierce tonight. I don't know. Oh, it went away. Who just put themselves on mute?
I think it might be me.
My goodness. Meg. Where did we go wrong?
But I was muted last time.
I don't know. All right. Well, I guess anybody have anything for last call other than it's we're in the final week of the adventure log?
If you haven't backed it, go back it now because it's awesome.
Yeah, don't miss out.
Yeah. Neil's really excited about the adventure log. Did you know that? All right. Jen, you want to take us out?
Okay. Well, besides backing the adventure log, I will be streaming tomorrow with Scrat on a Squirrel Plays channel. We're going to be playing Open Legend D6, and it should be a lot of fun. So check it out if you have a chance. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. EST.
Nice.
All right.
All right.
Great. So have a great week. I will see you here, same time, same place next week.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Take care, everybody.
Good night.